Hello everyone, this is your 5 and welcome to the Global Manchester Toy Review. And today's toy review, we're looking at the 2010 release by Hasbro of the Marvel Universe action figure review. And today's action figure review, we're looking at the series number 2, action figure number 31 of the Marvel Dark Hawkeye. Now I got this straight from the local toy shop near my area, which is also a scalper shop, for 38 ringgit. Retail price cost for 39 ringgit and 90 cents. So I actually save up 2 ringgit there. Hey. Now let's take a look at the front part of packaging here. You've got a nicer artwork of Bullseye donning in the Hawkeye costume. You can tell that's Bullseye's face anyway. And here you'll notice his name being labeled as Marvel's Dark Hawkeye. So I'm not too sure why they wanted to cram all that there in this smaller section, and why they would insist on putting the word Marvel's there. Why don't they just put Dark Hawkeye / Bullseye? Wouldn't that be much more easier? I doubt anyone who reads, especially the Dark Reign series in the Marvel Comics, would even know what do they mean by Marvel's Dark Hawkeye, unless you read the back bio. Anyways, the background is actually in purple background colors, and it slowly goes to black and then slowly turn to white, and then you'll notice there's the warning label there. Choking hazard, small parts, not fortunate under 3 years, because they're talking about the arrow there. Now, in this section here, it's stated as includes classified file with secret code. Now, in this section here is the hammer logo. Here, we have the plastic bubble. We got the figure there, holding the arrow, and holding, of course, the bow, and behind him is the quiver. Now, behind the figure itself, we got the base stand, and behind the base stand, you got the top secret file. At the back of the packaging, you got a nicer image of the Dark Hawkeye, or Bullseye there, and below the image itself you've got the bio. Here we got the rest of the lineup. First we got the Fans Choice runner-up of Constrictor. Next we have the Yellow Jacket with Ant-Man. You got a small little figure of Ant-Man there. And next we got Thanos. Below them is the Norman Osborn artwork holding the Green Goblin mask, pointing at you saying become an agent of Hammer at freefiles.com. So that's all about for the packaging itself. Let's open up this packaging so we can molest the toy. Be right back. And we're back after removing the figure and the rest of the stuff out from packaging. Now, inside the packaging comes with the top secret file folder that has the small little piece of paper that contains the code for you to enter at freefiles.com. Small little character card, and one side of the card is a small little artwork of the Dark Hawkeye. On the other side, the Superhuman Registration Act. You got a nicer avatar image of the Dark Hawkeye with a thumbprint. His real name is Lester Poindexter, codename Dark Hawkeye. Hair none, eyes blue, height 6 foot, weight 200 pounds, sex male. Powers. It is unknown if Bullseye's uncanny ability is a mutant ability or not. He has the skill to take any object and turn it into a deadly projectile with perfect aim. Recently, he has developed a fondness of using bow and arrows similar to the original Hawkeye. And at the bottom, enhanced human. And that's about it. And finally, we have an email from Victoria Hand to Norman Osborn regarding of Mr. Poindexter's, that needed to be dealt with because he became very unstable and has, been killing a lot of people. And that's about it. Nothing much about the email. Next we'll take a look at the base stand. Comes with a base stand with the Marvel word embedded on top with 2 pegs here. You can plug it at the bottom heel of the figure itself. You notice there's 2 holes there. It's also imprinted as Dark Hawkeye, and next to it is 031. Now at the back it's stated 2009 Hasbro, trademark at 2010 Marvel, made in China. And that's about it. Now let's take a look at the figure's accessories. Nothing new with the accessories. It's about the same as the original figure, or the Hawkeye figure from the Marvel Universe Secret Wars comic pack. Nothing is changed. It's still the same, except a bit of a different paint job, a little bit. That's the arrow. At the tip of the arrowhead itself is painted in silver, and the back portion here, the feathers are all painted in purple. The original arrow for the Hawkeye figure is painted in white, and the figure can only hold the arrow somewhere around like so. You have to fiddle around with the fingers there because it's not easy to actually adjust it like so. Otherwise, you have to fiddle around with it, otherwise it will just keep on falling all over the place. Next we have a bow, which is actually brown in plastic, but this section here, you notice this edge here is all painted in very shiny purple. Figure can hold it on the handle here on the left hand only. It's a pity that there's no string at all. I really wish they would add a string, but whatever. And finally, we have a strap that connects to the quiver of arrows, and this is the arrows here, really very nicely done, and all the feathers have been painted in purple, you notice that. And the figure can actually wear the accessory like so. You have to pull the head off and slide like so. There's also another accessory, the costume for the Dark Hawkeye. This entire piece here is removable. All you have to do is just remove the belt. There's a button here and at the back, and all you have to do is just pull this section. This section, you just pull it out. As long as you remove the head, you can pull it out. Now, let's take a look at the figure's, well, paint job. Now, the paint job is alright, but a little bit disappointing. As you notice the face paint job here, you know there's a spot there. Yes, it's like a chipped paint job, chipped off perhaps. There's a flesh tone skin paint job there, but the rest of the paint job is still alright. The eyes is nicely painted, so that's the grin there, very nicely done, and some parts are quite nicely painted as well, especially on this purple piece here, the scales. It's actually quite, well, shiny. It's actually quite nice. But other than that, the blue body portion is actually alright, but there's no shading at all. If you notice, there's no shading at all, but it's still okay. Now the boots actually are not painted at all. If you notice, fingers are okay with the flesh tone skin. And at the back as well, very nice, very nicely done. Now the body, the sculpt of the body itself, there's nothing new except for the head and the left arm. The rest of the body is the same, and I have the original Hawkeye figure next to me. They are exactly the same except for the head and the left arm, which is still okay because you still have some new stuff there, and the face sculpt is actually quite nice. It looks just like, well, Bullseye there, with a more happier and grinning face. What I really wish is that there's actually more to it, to the sculpt itself, but this is alright. The structure for the figure itself, the body structure, is actually suits the character of Bullseye, because he is actually that kind of body size itself, unlike the original Marvel Universe Bullseye, the single colored Bullseye figure, which is rather fat and short. This body structure is suitable for Bullseye here, so this is good stuff. Let's take a look at the figure's articulation. The head can actually turn 360 degrees, but cannot pivot up and down. The torso can turn 360 degrees, but hindered by the costume itself. You can move left or right only with the costume, of course, and can bend backwards and forward and side to side. The shoulder here turn 360 degrees and lift the arms this far. Upper bicep turn 360 degrees. The elbow here bend this far, goes straight forward, and the wrist here turns 360 degrees. The hip joint can move forward. It's a bit hindered by this piece here. Go forward, a little bit back and to the sides. Double jointed knee, and the shin here turns 360 degrees, and the ankle bend downwards and upwards. Overall, the figure is actually not bad. though nothing new for the entire body except for the arm and for the head. So it's actually not bad. I really wish they put more paint details on the shading though. There's not much of a paint shading going on, but it's still not bad. So if I'm going to give a rating of it, I'll give it an 8 out of 10. So 8 out of 10 for the Dark Hawkeye. I thank you all for watching. This is Lucy05 and I'm signing off.